Good morning, YouTube. It's 9:15, Saturday morning here in Sweden. I got myself a cup of coffee. Cheers. And I'm gonna start off another Greater Demon project. This time I'm cheating a little bit. I don't know if you can tell by the parts, but what we're looking at here is a Lord of Change. And I should have had the box available. Hold on. Back. Alright. Because I've had my friends who are not very familiar with Warhammer, they want me to show the original model, as it makes it easier for them to understand what the original model looks like. So, it's this guy in the middle, it's a Lord of Change. You can't see the wings entirely, but it's a big bird demon. I can't fit the box, but you get it. So, this big bird demon, what are we gonna make out of it? Are we gonna keep our secrets? Well, no. We're actually making a Lord of Change, a big bird. I've been messing around with these parts, cleaned up some small amounts of them, glued together this foot, and I must say, big fan of this model. This model is incredibly cool. I love these legs, they have a lot of great little detail, they're just incredibly well sculpted, and they really, I don't know, they just feel great to work with. Or the one thing that sort of is a problem with that is that I know my sculpting is not up to the same standard as the sculpting that is on the miniature right now, so I'm gonna have to do some work to make sure that everything like goes together smoothly, and you know, it's not just, oh, here's the original part and here's the part I sculpted, which is like flat and lifeless compared to this. Something to keep in mind. Another problem when you have a miniature that you really like I do with this one, sometimes you feel like you don't want to mess it up. You know, you don't want to ruin all these nice detail. But what I do is that I leave it lying around my desk for a couple of days, and eventually I have seen the details so many times that I'm a little bit bored with them, and then I'll be okay with messing them up and cutting it up. So let's look at the sketch of it's this thing down here. As always, you know, when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, I wanted to be an illustrator. As you can tell, it's a good thing I became an IT consultant instead. But what we're going for here is the main idea is we want a keeper of secrets that is wearing a Lord of Change, like I don't know, I'm not sure how yet, like if we're going for a dress-like thing or like a sort of jumpsuit even. I'm not sure. All I know is we're gonna have these legs, but I think I'm gonna make the thigh and hip area larger. And probably like the mid part will be sculpted, because this guy has looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and want her to have a better posture than that. I'm not sure about the arms, because the arms are kind of short and thin. I don't know, we'll see. And the wings, I actually do not like wings on miniatures at all. I think they're cumbersome, they're large, they're heavy, and they're just not my thing. I prefer a model without wings, but these wings are pretty fucking sweet, so they get to stay. I mean, and it's an integral part of the model that it can fly, so it would be dumb to not have it. Yeah, well, I'm gonna start off and play around with this and see what I can come up with. So stay tuned. Good morning again, YouTube. It's been 2 days since the last video, I think. Still more prep work. This is sort of the pose I'm playing with right now. It's blue tacked in place. Cleaned up these arms, stuck the shoulders to them just to get a feel for the general look. Still not sure about the arms. They feel small and short on the body. I just might end up making my own arms, even though I don't like sculpting arms, but you know, that's what happens. Let's have a look here. I used this piece to get the legs in place the same way they would have been they had been glued together naturally, the way they should. And then I've sort of stuck more stuff on top of, yeah, stuck more milliput, obviously you can see that. Why am I even explaining this? I cleaned up these and thought I would use them, but in the end, I don't know. I'm not. I don't think I will. Maybe I will sculpt something similar myself. The idea right now is we're going with this will be some sort of like thigh-high boots or socks, something, and a leotard with a hood is an idea I came up with. The hood would make it look more like a sorcerer, and it would also allow me to use one of the heads of the original bird, of which you get like, I think 5? One of these, and sort of be part of the headdress, which I think would be pretty neat. I mean, would make it look more like wearing a Keeper of Secrets. Been a lot of magnetizing done. This was done the same way as the Keeper of Secrets. It's 2 sheets of 2mm plastic card, and then magnets that are 2mm high and 5mm in diameter. We have a brass rod going quite a way up into the leg for the main stability, and then to prevent it from, like, you know, twisting on top of this, I also added 2 smaller metal rods. And these will probably be really hard to get in on camera. Will they? Won't they? Oh, well. There we go. Alright. Still cleaned up a little bit here on the thighs to remove some wrinkles. I think I'll remove these as well, since there are C-inch symbols. The staff, I removed this middle part because I felt like it was a bit fragile and I wanted to extend the staff, and I also wanted to drill straight through it and put some wire or rod through it for stability. So yeah, and as I said, I'm not sure, I don't really like this hand, it's kind of small. As for the back, I've been thinking a lot of the wings. I mean, the wings are really large and they're gonna take up a lot of space, and they're not super heavy since they're plastic, but they're kind of heavy for a model. So and I want to magnetize them. So right now this will be on the back, sort of in, it's hard to tell, sort of in this way, maybe a little higher like that, is the idea. And the wings will of course be here. But this is very slow work. I mean, you can see here I have drilled. Right now there are 2 magnets on this side, 2 magnets on this side. There are 3mm magnets. I'm waiting for this to dry before I'm adding 4 more 5mm magnets, and hopefully that will keep the wings in place. Okay. Still a lot more prep work to do, as you can see. I mean, this usually takes the better part of a week, since there's a lot of waiting for things to dry before it's, you know, stable enough to work on top of. Okay, bye bye. Alright, quick update. Nothing done on the staff, wings are the same. These wings I've attached to the back. I don't think I did that the last video. 2 magnets on each side, 1 large, 1 small. Slot in like that, and they stay in place. A nice snug fit. Started to make feathers to cover up the joint. Need a few more on the other side of the joint, but so far so good. Try to keep this spine going. It's not as nice as the thing on top, but it's fine. Done the thighs. They're not, or like the basic shape of the thighs. I mean, I still need to make the sort of the boot thing, the thing that turns the lower part into a thigh-high boot. And yeah, still need to do this side as well, but it's coming along quite nice. Also put a magnet up here to be able to add the I'm gonna make, since it's gonna have a hood, I feel like the hood's gonna cover the neck. I need to make the entire head and neck removable, so it's gonna be part of it. And I think I've decided to make new arms, so I'm gonna put magnets here so I can add new arms. But right now I'm gonna do the front, and yeah, I'm pretty much trying to just do everything until all the fleshy parts, so I can just get a feel for the model and then focus on dressing it up and putting on equipment and armor and things. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
So, funny story, YouTube. I actually forgot to do the voiceover here, so now I have to do it post-production. And that is fine, I guess. Okay, so I don't remember what I was talking. Oh yeah, the wings. The wings, that part was done. I'd hidden the joint with the feathers, I think. Yeah, that's what I did. There were 2 magnets in place now. It's a sturdy construction, and to attach the wings to this part, I drilled straight through, and so you could put 2 metal rods there to keep it in place, and I had tested it by then, and it had actually worked. So that was a good construction. Still on till this day. Also talking about, I think I had redone the breasts like twice by this point, and I had also started, I tried doing this rib cage that I'm showing you right now, and I'm not happy with that, so I'm saying I'm going to remove it, and spoilers, it won't make it to the final model. There's not a lot of the top part that you see that will make it to the final model actually, but more on that later. Let's see, oh, here's the hand. I have removed the hand that was there before, cut it down to sculpt my own hand on top. Not sure what I'm talking about, maybe something about the head. At this point, I'm starting to get stuck. It's something you will notice a lot more in the next clip that I will record voiceover for in just a couple of minutes. So see you there. Okay, YouTube, so this was about just a week into the project, and despite all the progress I had made, I was stuck as fuck. And I was just not feeling it. I didn't know where to go from this point. I was not happy with most of the model, what it looked like right now. It was empty, very plain, no detail, and I couldn't really come up with any good detail to fill it with. It was a frustrating point in this project. Even though I had the basic shape done, it didn't feel right, and I was stuck on the head and the arms. Wings, though, those are actually the same as the wings look now when it's done, and they look pretty good. And the actual construction that I spent a lot of time on is very nice. Okay, the staff. Oh no, wait, left arm. No, sorry, right arm. Work in progress, and the left arm. And this was something I was actually proud of at this point, and I still am. It's making the staff longer by filling out this middle part with some milliput in the same shape. Yeah, that part looks okay. And now something ghastly for you. This is the head I was working on back then. If it will focus, there we focus. It's not that much to see. Yeah, it's about as good as the rest of the model at this point. So we're just gonna jump ahead to about more than 6 months later when I actually finished this after I had gotten some inspiration. So next time you see this model, it will actually be done. And that will be in just a couple of seconds for you, but yeah, let's just do it. Fuck it, come on. Okay, YouTube, so I just need to add a little extra information here. As I said in the last clip, this was in like May that I started this, and I had worked on it for like a week or so when I was starting to feel like this really like modeling fatigue. I was not inspired. I felt like I was forcing myself, and I did not like a lot of what I was producing. So in the end, I put it in a drawer, and it was the summer, so I did summer things like being outside, visited my folks and family and things like that. And then during fall, I took it out of the box. I tried new things. I did some sculpting on it, and small progress in general. I didn't really get any inspiration until very late. And for some reason also, and I stopped recording because I don't know. I had this. I thought I had like more than 30 minutes of recorded video already, and looking at it right now, it was like 12 minutes, or maybe that was like me thinking I would get 30 if I just kept recording at that pace. So anyway, I have no more recorded video until the model is actually done. So that's what I will just, we will go through the model part by part, because a lot has happened since the last. So first things first, the body. Enjoy. This was sort of where it clicked for me to finish off the model. And you remember the last time these like boots looked like this? They were just like a straight edge. They were really boring. And I think it was a Twitter, it was Louise Sugden's Twitter, where she had made a demon prince out of a squig. And I just got the idea that for some reason, like the big squig, big maw and the teeth, I was like, well, what if the flayed keeper, Lord of Change, is trying to eat her? Yeah, that was like that was my main idea, and I just started sculpting and rolled with it, and yeah, I sort of got my inspiration back. So this was the first part I did, and it was just like a, it's teeth and some weird eyes, has a tongue, comes back here, more teeth, and that's, I think that was the first part I did, and then I did the thighs. You can see here, it looks like it's jumping down, lower jaw back here, so from the side it looks like it's eating. Same on the other side. We're trying to swallow the thigh hole. Also did these parts, but they were like, I just half-assed these just to get them done. The upper body, I went back to having 3 pairs of breasts to keep in, like, just look the same as the Keeper of Secrets. But I thought that they, I don't know, I made all these eyes on them, but still the spaces here made it look a little flat or like boring. So I added these horns or spikes to make it look a little bit like it would be a screamer. And it also has the teeth here swallowing the head, or upper body. Couple of more feathers here, just to not make the feathery parts of the back just look like stapled on there. Marcos Laniche on the butt. That's how we do it. Also, something that's not very obvious here is it's a lot thicker now. Before this, actually the shoulders were this wide, and it just looked weird. So what I did was I put another magnet on top of the first magnet, and just added more. I had to redo a lot of this. As you can see, that these parts are different color because I had different clay. But in the end, I'm really more happy with the results. So that's the main body. Let's move on to some arms. So this is the right arm. It looks a lot like it did when you last saw. Well, kind of. I mean, it's pretty similar. Still have this staff with the detail. I decided I liked sculpting this part to make it smooth, like just a smooth curving detail. I decided to keep doing that up here and end it with more feathers and a head from a Lord of Change. I think like that looks pretty neat. And for the arm, last time you saw it, I think this had 3 fingers. I added a 4th one. Added this bracer, which is not my prettiest sculpting, but it'll do. And as you can see, this one also has a maw trying to eat the arm. Yeah. Okay, so as for the left arm, this this arm came out kind of weird at first. I mean, this was my main idea, and if you can just fucking focus, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, put it on the body. It's kind of at an odd angle, and together with this arm, well, if you compare them, I realized that this arm was just, it's larger, like it's longer, and the lower arm also a lot longer. And I realized, like, what? How the fuck did I miss that? It was kind of a frustrating experience to realize that I had messed that up. So in the end, I decided that I was just making a new arm, this arm. Kind of similar to the first one. You have this, and I think I've already spoiled that you can remove the hand. I'll show you a little trick I did, because I had made this hand, and then I decided that no, I don't want to have to remake an entirely new arm if I want to put a rod of sorcery or a sword on him. So I tore this hand off and magnetized it, and I was really happy with it until I realized that I was going to need to sculpt all the hand detail like with this piece. Would have been a lot easier if it was still attached to the arm. But I came up with an idea. And what I did was I used this blue stuff, is what it's usually called, and I slapped like a couple. Oh wait, magnets going in the wrong way. I attached magnets to this and I shoved it into the blue stuff, one side going in first, and then I sort of had this handle that kept it in place, and I could sculpt all the details here on the palm, and then I made the blue stuff soft again, and I turned it around, and I could sculpt all the detail on the back of the hand. And then when I needed to do like make them come together on the side, I just took my knife and I cut this part off, and I could sculpt the sides and make the claws look proper. Yeah, which was really helpful. Made sculpting the hand, which could have been a real pain, very, very easy. Alright, let's move on. As for the final part, the head, you saw this head. Oh yeah, you can see I have a different head in my in my hand. So spoilers, didn't use that. But what I did was this neck part. At first, this neck was going straight up, like this direction instead, which made the like the neck look very stiff and weird and unnatural. So first I tried to just turn the head a little bit, give it a little more movement, and so I resculpted it once, and then I decided that nope, that won't work, so I tore all of it down and changed the angle and sculpted it back up again, and then I was happy with it. So as for the head, yeah, there it is. Kind of Keeper of Secrets like. It's simple, but I'm a fan. I'm very pleased with it. So what does this look like all put together? Well, that's what we're going to have a look at right now, obviously. Right, so we got the body, we've got the head, we've got the left arm, and we've got the right arm, and that's no, that's actually the left arm, and the other one was the right arm. I probably said the wrong thing a couple of times now, but you know, that's left and right, who cares? Those are the wings, but you've seen them before. Yeah. I would say the neck still looks like kind of weird, but you know, I'm so over it. I'm just so happy this actually, you know, finished eventually. Yeah, that's it. I don't know what else to tell you more than here comes a little spinny thing to show it off. Ta-ta. Thank you so much for watching another one of my videos, and I hope you enjoyed it. I am going to try to not spend another 6 months dilly-dallying with a miniature like this before I release my next video, and yeah, no, I can promise you I won't. I've got a couple more projects that are already finished that I wanna make a short videos on. Some Tyranids, more demons. Also got some Necrons lying around. Maybe I'll show off those. We'll see. Don't have that much more to say, but you know, you gotta have a voiceover for this entire clip. Or maybe you don't really need it actually. I'll just make soothing sounds for the last 10 seconds. I'm not sure that was soothing. You know what? I'm just gonna be quiet.